All right, y'all. So I done emptied out my compost pots, and right now I am just going through the compost that I want to incorporate into this pot that I'm about to transfer my new lavender plant over into. My daughter emptied out, or she dumped out my lavender plant, so I'm like, okay, I have to replant you. I'm sifting through the soil because I've noticed that in my compost pot there are these little bugs. They look like beetles and roaches, and I'm not about to have them in my lavender plant because my lavender plant is gonna be inside my house. So yeah, that might not seem as fun or great, or like that might not seem all cool and shit, but I do live in Mexico, and out here they just have roaches. So I'm not dirty. I just got compost plants that are outside, and these little bugs that look like beetles, that look like little roaches, and stuff like that. They just love my compost, and so I'm going through and I'm just making sure that I don't see any bugs now. This is just what I'm gonna do for my lavender plant right now. The rest of the compost, I'm gonna let it sit outside for a few days so that one, it can dry out, and two, all of the insects and things like that can have a chance to escape up out of it, and I don't have to go through like this and get stuff out of there. Bugs being in your compost is actually a good thing because that's how it breaks down. That's how your compost breaks down with the life that wants to come and live in it. That is how it gets broken down. So that's like an unavoidable process to have bugs and things in your compost. Um, you want that. You want all of the worms. You want all of the little creepy crawlies. You want that. That helps keep healthy. That helps create healthy soil. So I've gone through this about 4 or 5 times already, very thoroughly, actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the pot. This is some of my compost mix, but this is also I broke down some leaves to go into here because, as I said earlier, lavender does not like wet soil. It actually likes dry soil, and I know that this soil is very hydrated, but I gotta do what I gotta do because, like I said, my daughter done dumped out my dang on lavender plant, and I feel like I need to um transfer it as soon as possible. So this is some of my compost and leaves. I know you can't really see all of it because it's in the camera is turned a certain way. But I got compost and leaves, and then I have some soil that came out of the pot that the lavender came in, and we are going to go ahead and mesh and meld that together. Maybe I can get my camera turned a little bit so y'all can see where I'm actually working at. Sometimes you just gotta get out and get a little dirty. So yeah, I got some of the soil from the pot that the lavender came in that I'm mixing in with the rest of this compost and soil mix that I got here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and mix it together. The pot is a little over halfway full right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and dump the rest of this in there, make it a quarter of a way full. Yeah. I might actually need some more because I really want this to be on the fuller side. So, work that back, work that back, arch that back, work that back. Okay. So I need some more, but not that much more because my pot is almost all the way full. It don't need to be all the way to the tippity to the top, but I do want it to be a little fuller. So I just need enough to cover the rest, because this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this what I have, and I'm going to go ahead and transfer the lavender over. So I just need enough to cover the top. So this should be enough. I'm gonna get some more of these broken down leaves to incorporate into this. I don't know why I'm breaking these leaves up right now, but whatever. I'm doing what I'm doing, okay? And then we're gonna go through this again. I'm gonna go through this because I went through the other. Now I have to go through this and make sure, because it has little bugs in it. And these bugs is not going in my lavender plant, because I'm gonna be taking my lavender in and out of my house. Now, if it was an outside plant, I really wouldn't trip too much about it. I got some this is tiger's eye. This is tiger's eye. I had some tiger's eye bees, and I just randomly threw, because they broke, and I just started randomly throwing tiger's eye bees in different plants in my yard. I mean, in different pots in my yard. So, we're digging out tiger's eye bees. That's funny. We're gonna leave that in there, because we divine like that. Like that, like so, like that, the lady be saying. I'm gonna go ahead and keep digging through this thoroughly. Make sure I don't see any bugs that I would not be allowing into my house, you feel me? Like this little pincher looking bug right there. I can get out of here. I just want to make sure that really what's in here is worms. I don't want to see anything other than worms. I'm okay with the worms, because the worms ain't going to want to try to leave the pot. These other bugs, I don't know about all that. Some of them, when they're really tiny, I smush them. Thank you for your energy. I'm just going through the soil. This is soil that I have been spending this past year and a half building on this soil, and I am so excited to be able to go through and see all of the compost that I have created with my own hands. Shout out to my man for teaching me how to build soil properly, you guys. If you want to build soil, all you gotta do is get you a little pot with a few holes in the bottom. Put them out, put it outside, and start loading up your compost. Your compost, for me, we just use food scraps. We don't really put anything else in our compost. And when I say fruit scraps, I mean fruits and vegetables. I actually went through my compost today and saw these eggshells. I was experimenting with throwing some eggshells in my compost, because, they say the calcium from the eggshells is good for the soil. And I saw that they did not break down at all. So I won't be adding any more eggshells into my compost. We're not really on that type of time around here. Yeah. So we take our food scraps, our fruits and vegetables, thank you for your energy, and we put them into our compost. And for every layer of compost, like fruits and vegetables, you want to add in brown, which would be leaves. We do leaves because that is bringing in, is it hydrogen into the soil? Boomy, put in the comment. What is it? Carbon. It's adding carbon into the soil. Look at me. I know my stuff. Yeah, the leaves are gonna bring the carbon into the soil. I see you. Not getting away from me. Thankful for the energy. My kids is upstairs playing around with each other. But yeah, you guys. I'm also noticing a lot of watermelon seed shells, which is interesting to me. I definitely eat a lot of watermelon. I put a lot of watermelon in my soil. Now I haven't actually. Sometimes I will um be lazy and not put a layer of leaves into my compost. Um, but for the best results, you're going to want to do that. But sometimes I don't, and this compost still looks very good, very rich, very full, you know. So don't worry if you might forget a time or two to put your leaves down before you done dump some more compost. Don't be afraid. Don't be worried. Yeah, I'm just going through. I see you. You can't hide from me. I'm being thorough. I'm being thorough. Yeah, because I'm not allowing anything to come into my house that don't need to be up in there. No, 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 no. You can go over here. Yeah, so certain like centipedes and other things. If it's not really like worms, I am digging it on up out of here. I also noticed that the mango shells have not really broken down the way I want them to. Like mango husks are staying in their husks. So what I feel like when it comes to mango husks, it's gonna take years for those to break down. So I will only do mango husk in your compost if you're willing to go through and dig them out every so often, or if you're in like a your more permanent homestead. And you have a larger compost that you're going to be having, for years, then yeah. Uh, I gotta do some work on my nervous system. My little cheeks is shaking. Not my cheeks, but like my legs, my thighs. I can feel it. Okay, I done thoroughly went through this. I feel like it's good. I'm going to go ahead and drop that in. Make a little well in the middle. A little well in the middle because I'm going to come over here and take my beautiful lavender plant, which has yet to bloom, and I'm going to put in a lot of that. Actually, boom, do y'all see this roots? Look at these roots. Look at these roots. They are much longer than I assumed. So, what we're going to do is, first of all, shake this out a little bit. Yeah, let them get some space. Let them get a little air. Don't worry, baby. I'm going to love on you. Don't worry. Okay, and we're actually going to take some of this out because the roots is much longer than I assumed, like I said, and I want to make sure that I am putting this in deep enough, and I want to make sure that I put a little bit of that in there first. Actually, y'all, I'm still a newbie, okay? I'm still a newbie, but I got this because, baby, I got experience. Experience. I got experience, and we're gonna put this mulchy kind of vibe. The soil that it came in, we're gonna put it closer to around the roots because it's more mulchy, it's more dry, and like I said, your lavender really don't want got some what looks like sorrel growing in here with the um, lavender. And sorrel or wood sorrel is a plant or an herb that you can have. You will probably find it growing in your yard. People would consider it as a weed. If you taste it, it tastes like lemony. Like it has a lemony vibe to it. It's actually kind of cool. What is this in here? It's a little something, something at the bottom of this pot. What is that? You look like a you look like a watermelon seed, but then again you don't because you're all white and stuff. What you trying to do? You trying to find somewhere so you can grow? Here, I'll throw you up in here so you can keep growing. Let's see what you are. When you grow big enough, we'll move you to another pot. Okay. Let's go ahead and put the rest of this in here. Yeah, sorrel or wood sorrel is like, it has like a lemony kind of taste to it. And you can eat it. You can pick it right on up out your yard. Give it a little rinse and eat it. Or if it just freshly rained, not too long ago, pick it right on up. Eat it. It's good. But yeah, like I said, lavender don't really like too much moisture. So since there is a lot of moisture in this soil, I'm just hoping that she will do just fine. I found another piece of what is it? Tiger's eye. So we're putting you right on up in there. Another piece of tiger's eye. I think that it'll be fine though because since I know that it doesn't like water, I won't be watering it at all. They say that you really don't need to water it at all. It doesn't really like cold weather. It's more so a plant that you will plant in springtime. But since we're in Mexico and it's hot down here, I'm gonna be good. Don't have to worry about that. When you are replanting your plants, you don't want your soil to be too packed down. But once you do get to the top, you are gonna want to like press it a little bit, just to make sure that everything's in there good. And you definitely want to make sure that when you're transplanting the plant, right here at the base of your plant, it's nicely supported. So, with that also being said, what I'm going to do is get a little bit more compost because I want to make sure that we are nicely supported here at the base of the plant. For whatever reason, this soil just feels like bubbly, like it feels like I'm touching bubbles, like fresh Play-Doh. Like fresh Play-Doh. Yeah, so I'm gonna get a little bit more compost that I can put at the top so I can make sure that the base of my plant is nice and supported. I'm going to go through this again and make sure that this is thoroughly sifted through. Alright. I don't see any bugs right here. This is a nice handful. I do see a couple worms. That is super great. Yeah. So I want to make sure that the base is nicely supported and that there is enough around so that when I'm not going to be watering this. I was going to say when I do water, because if you don't have enough soil in your pot, right? You ain't got enough soil covering the roots of your plants. As you water, it's going to water down the soil, it's going to wash away the soil, and then you will have roots exposed. So you don't want to do that. But here we go. My lavender plant is replanted. I hope that you do great. I hope that you prosper here. I hope that you live well in this soil. I hope that I did you good. I hope that you have a great time. And I hope that as the sun reaches you, this soil dries out and you feel great in this environment that you have come into. Thank you for entering our space in our lives. Thank you for coming and joining our home. welcome to this new space. I hope that you thrive. I see that you are trying to bud, so hopefully that this process expands you greatly. Hopefully that is enough. I will check in with Boomy and make sure that this base is good. And we have transplanted our lavender plant. It smells gorgeous. Beautiful plants. The sun is not shining right now, but you want to give your lavender plant 8 to 10 hours of sunlight. We have transplanted our lavender, and I think that I'm just going to leave this here. Let's see how long this video is actually. Oh, it's only 20 minutes. Okay, so maybe I could take y'all with me and show y'all a little bit of what I got going on in my front yard. What I want to do is really like some of these trees, I just feel like they need more soil in the pot, but I don't feel like I have enough compost to compensate. So what I want to do is go to the store and buy some more soil. But I do have this tomato plant right here. And if you can see, maybe, I don't know, I can't flip my camera, but maybe you can see right there at the base how the roots are starting to be exposed a little bit, because watering it down and it's not enough soil in here. So I'm about to transfer some of my compost on the top of this pot. I got another tomato plant right here. This is bell peppers. Don't seem like they're doing too much. Actually, maybe there might be something up in there. We're gonna see, but I'm gonna put some compost in this pot as well. I got another watermelon plant right here, which I think I'm going to actually kind of pull it up and put some compost in there and then put it back in there and see if that'll do something. This is my moringa tree. It's doing great, but you see that how the pot is more empty? It's like the pot seems to be like maybe a third away full, and we need it to be full. And so I want to get some more soil in there and try to get it halfway up. But yeah, that's what I have for now. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer some compost into the pots that I said that I would, and then I'm gonna leave the rest. Let that since these are outside, I don't really mind the bugs being in them because it's outside. It's not in my house. So I don't have to worry about digging through digging through the rest of the compost right now. Um, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna get me a couple bags of soil and mix them in, and take these trees out these pots and mix the soil and try to get some more soil into the pots with the trees, and hopefully they'll start thriving because they'll have some compost. I got my little spiky plants right here, which I like to say my protection plants for my house. I think I'm gonna go ahead and drop a little bit of compost in there, and that's just what we're doing today. We are putting love into the garden so that our garden can thrive and flourish as we are. I feel so great. It's such a beautiful, wonderful, magical, and amazing day. I'm going to go ahead and check in with my kids before I continue forward. I hope y'all have a beautiful, wonderful, magical, and amazing experience. Peace.